Hello everybody, Bob Scheffler, PRICOM Design. We're going to do a little demo here for you of how to create a multi-channel WAV file using Audacity. This is a Windows 7 64-bit machine, and I am using Audacity 2.0.5. I have a new project open right here which is completely blank. I've set my microphone input to the rear panel jack, which is the same thing I'm recording this audio with, and there's one setting you need to set for exporting multi-channel. Under the Edit menu, go to Preferences. In Preferences, you'll see this Import-Export item. By default, Audacity comes checked with Always Mix All Tracks Down to Stereo, and that's just so that normal people that are exporting stereo or mono can deal with it. What we actually want is use Custom Mix. It says, for example, to make a 5.1 multi-channel. And that's actually what we're going to do. We're going to be using this to do an 8-channel output. So change that setting. All the other default settings in Audacity should just work great for you. So since my microphone is already set up, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to record a track here. And I'm going to say track number 1. And then stop. Okay, I'm going to play this back. And I'm going to say track number 1. Clearly, I don't want to hear me saying I'm going to say track number 1. So I clipped out that junk. I'm going to clip out the tail at the end too, so we can go back around. There we go. A little bit of a noisy room here right now, so bear with me on that. And I'm also going to name this track track 1, just so that I can keep my head straight. Now I'm going to record another one, track number 2. Now you can see here I've got another track. Let's name that one to T2 just to be short about it. I'm going to go over here on my timeline, and then I'm going to record again, track number 3. Alright, I'm going to go down here on my timeline, click somewhere toward the end, and hit record again, track number 4. And you can see I'm just stacking up tracks. Obviously I had a little bit of goop at the beginning of this one, so let's just listen to that. You can hear. So this was me finishing the sentence while I was still talking. So just for fun, I'll show you a little trick here. Say Control and scroll wheel, and then I can edit in and get rid of all my extra kind of stuff. And then Shift scroll wheel will actually allow me to slide over. I don't want to get rid of the tails because I'm not sure where my tail of my talking was, but I know certainly all of these heads of each of these samples is what I want to get rid of there. So I'm going to Control scroll wheel to zoom out, not quite that much. Shift scroll wheel to move over. I'm up to track number 3 here. So we're going to go T3. This one I'm going to name T4. Go back on my timeline, click about there, which put my cursor on this point in the timeline. I'm going to hit record and do track 5. Track number 5. So here's our track 5. Click over here. Each time I'm clicking record, it's actually going to create another track, which is very useful for what we're trying to do here. Track number 6. Now, did I just skip one? Nope, there we go, track number 5. Alright, so we're going to call this T5. Go down here, we'll call this one, name is T6. We've got 2 more to get an 8-channel recording. So let's go down here. Track number 7. There's my track 7. Now I'm going to leave my cursor where I was just to show you something, and it's going to actually talk. This one will play back while I'm trying to record track number 8. Track number 8. So you can see that was actually not really what I was looking for, because now I got 7 and 8. 7 playing while I'm recording 8. So let's just get our little multi-select tool here. Go down, select this track, and just delete that track. Just get rid of it. Okay. And I'm going to go back to my cursor thing here. And we're going to do a track number 8. Track number 8. Okay. So there's my 8 tracks. I will go back and play the whole thing for you so you can hear this. Track number 1. Track number 2. Track number 3. Track number 4. Track number you can hear that there was a little bit of a gap on my before I got to 3. I think that was about here.
Track
Yeah.
number 2. Track number 3. Track number 4.
So I'm just going to get a little bit particular right now, and I'm going to slide these over so they're a little bit closer together. Sorry. And move them like that. They'll kind of be a little bit closer on top of each other. You can see where this waveform ends and this one begins, so I'm just kind of going with that. And then we'll move this guy over a little bit. Apparently I have to be highlighted on the track before it can move it. What is that about? Okay. That was bizarre, but okay. You can see that even I have to mess around with this stuff sometimes. And remember, I never edited out the little pops at the beginning of 7 and 8. Or maybe 6, but 7 has some talking junk here. So go to my little editor tool here. We'll do that. We'll chop that out. Go down here. We're going to get, that's probably a lip smack right there, actually. Let's play that for fun.
Track number 8.
So I can't really hear. It wasn't too bad, but let's get rid of it anyway. I'm going to control scroll wheel to zoom in a little bit, shift scroll wheel to move over so that I can see where I'm at. You can see I'm scrolled in way too far to be useful. Alright, so let's just grab this guy, delete him, scroll back out so I can see where I'm at again. Flip to my pusher tool thing. Okay. So let's put it about there. Okay, so that it's going to make me a little bit happier with this.
Track number 1, track number 2, track number 3, track number 4, track number 5, track number 6, track number 7, track number 8.
Alright, so that was my complete timeline. I didn't name 7 and 8, so let's just go ahead and do that now. We're going to make that T7, and we'll make this one T8. You don't really need to name these, but it's going to help out in the next step that we're going to do. I'm going to save this project and give it a good name like Bob Demo Test. How's that? Seems good. Oh yeah, because I still have another project open. Alright, well, let's just save it as another one. Save project. I'm just going to say track count. How about counting 1 to 8? Counting 1 to 8, that sounds like a good one. I know I didn't use that one yet. Okay, so once we got our project saved, we can then do the export. We go to export. It's going to default to that name I just gave the project. If you go under options, you're going to see that there's no other options for this format because I've already set it to 16-bit PCM. What you can do is do this pull down, and the format you're going to want to use for all the PRICOM product is this WAV 16-bit PCM. Alright, so once we got WAV file selected, you don't really have any options. I'm going to click Save. And this is the important part, if all that wasn't important. Remember how I named my tracks, track number 1, T2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you set the output channels to 8, it's going to map 1 to 1. So track 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. On the Dream Player MC, this is left channel output 1, right channel output 1, left channel output 2, right channel output 2, and so on for the 4 stereo outputs. If you have never done this before, probably your output channels is going to be set to 2. And if it's set to 2, these 8 tracks will all map to different combinations of stuff like this. That's how you map what goes to which tracks. The easiest way to set this really quickly is set that to 8 and then cancel out of here. And since I selected 8, or the first time you do it, 8, and you patch it, it will remember it so that next time when I go to do this, it will go 1 through 8 like that, which is basically very handy to do. Okay, then I click OK. Pops up a little dialog box for my metadata if I want to set any of this metadata. Dream Player doesn't read any of this anyway, so you don't really need to set it. You can if you wish to. I click OK, and that was that. It just exported the 8-channel WAV file. You can see in my source project there are 8 discrete little recording samples. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the actual WAV file now So file open. This was counting 1 through 8. 1 through 8 is what I just called it. So I'm opening up the actual WAV file. If you want to edit and touch the original source files, or if you want to make a copy, I always just edit the files directly because that's what I prefer to do. And now we can see it's actually 8 full WAV files have been padded with space before and after, which is what the Dream Player wants to see. So I can play this from the beginning.
Track number 1, track number 2, track number
And what you really can't hear in the microphone is that
track number 5,
those are panning from left to right, left to right, left to right.
number 7, track number 8.
Audacity is smart enough to know that I don't have any other output devices for these other channels, and so it maps them to my stereo speakers, which I'm using right now. So that's how to create and export a 8-channel WAV file using Audacity. Thank you for watching.